Hello and welcome to Invicta Sport, your roundup of this week's sporting action across Kent. I'm Bartholomew Hall and here's what to expect from today's show. Shooting for success, Medway opens its doors to World Archery Championship. Pool perfection, Kent takes home not one but two inter-county titles. And we'll reveal the top sporting clips from across the county in today's highlights of the week. But first, let's take a look at all the latest sports news. Here's Jamie with your bulletin.
Thanks, Bartholomew. Now starting with some breaking news in hockey, and former Holcombe player and Team GB Olympic champion Maddie Hinch has announced her retirement. In a statement posted to her Twitter account, the goalkeeper said the 15-year commitment to full-time international hockey has physically, mentally and emotionally taken its toll. Hinch went on to thank her teammates, coaches and fans for supporting her through thick and thin. Throughout her career, which began at age 19 in 2008, Hinch took home 3 European medals and played 186 times for England and Great Britain. Next, celebrations for Dover Rugby Club after becoming Kent's 2 champions. Already assured of their promotion, the Sharks needed to score at least 4 tries against Sidcup to achieve a bonus point and make it to the top of the table. Opponent Sidcup made sure it wasn't going to be easy with an initial 5-point lead for the victors. But not long before, converted tries from Blair Charge, George Pugh and Harry Moore laid the groundwork for Dover 31-12 victory. Now the Sharks are set to face the likes of Ashford, Deal and Thanet Wanderers in Kent 1 next season. And finally in football, when Neil Harris says it's up to the players ahead of his squad's home match against Crewe on Tuesday. Gillingham are looking to bounce back following their 2-0 defeat against Walsall at the weekend. The Gills currently sit 20th and 7 points above the League 2 relegation zone. Harris says it's still an extremely healthy position in the league, but that they need to ensure that it stays that way with better standards in training. Now sticking with football, here's the weekend's fixtures and results. As we mentioned, Gillingham's defeat was a bit of a setback following the team's post-Christmas run of success. A goalless first half saw Isaac Hutchinson with a 50th minute deflected goal and a former Gills player Connor Wilkinson making it 2-0 in stoppage time. Maidstone made it 17 games winless after the defeat against Maidenhead. Regan Booty's second half score was in vain, as a late equaliser was denied by Maidenhead's Will de Havilland. And it was a winless weekend for Kent in the National League South. Dover down 3-0 against Hampton, with 1-1 draws for the two at the top of the table, Ebbsfleet and Tunbridge, in their games against Dulwich and Havant respectively. And a postponed game between Dartford and Concord due to a waterlogged pitch. And in the Isthmian Premier, Herne Bay made it a 3-1 victory in their visit to Carl Shulton, with Folkestone losing out 2-1 to Lewis and Margate's 1-0 loss hosting Avery. Now for the games we recommend you keep your eye on this weekend. 7:45 at Priestfield on Tuesday, where Gillingham are hoping to prove this weekend's setback was a one-off. And Herne Bay just need one more win and a favourable result elsewhere to see them leap out of the Isthmian relegation zone. They take on Enfield Town at home.
Now, Medway Park has this week opened its doors to athletes from around the globe as it became the venue for the IFAA World Indoor Archery Championship. The competition sees more than 500 archers from 27 countries aiming for the top spot across 5 days of shooting. One former Team GB archer from Ramsgate says he's hoping to beat the world record at this year's contest. Well, I went along to Medway Park to find out more.
More than 500 competitors have made their way from across the globe to have their chance at the IFAA World Indoor Archery Championships, which this year is hosted here in Medway. Former Team GB archer Ryan Holden from Ramsgate says he hopes to use the competition for a chance to break a world record. I caught up with him before things kicked off.
Yeah, pretty confident to be honest. Obviously we did a practice round in the beginning of January and I did beat the world record. Which I can't claim unless it's at the World Champs, so hopefully I can repeat. It's pretty awesome to be honest. Home county, obviously it's the biggest event of our sport that's been in Kent since 2007, and even that wasn't an open shoot, and this one's an open shoot, so just means anyone can enter, so which is quite nice.
And these are the targets that the archers will be aiming towards in each round. Hit one of your arrows in the middle of these and that's 5 points towards your total for that round. Think it looks easy? Well, try standing 20 yards away.
The competition is split into 2 rounds, one standard and one flint round, in which archers face distances of up to 30 yards. The IFAA, or International Field Archery Association, hosts its World Championships every 2 years. However, this year's competition is the first that's been able to go ahead since the pandemic.
The World Tournament obviously brings everybody from all corners of the globe, so Australia and New Zealand, Latin America, North America, Asia, Europe, and it's just a great opportunity that you can come and see people maybe you shot with at the last World Championships, which actually would have been in 2019, so it's a long time since the world version has got together.
The English Field Archery Association is this year's host, which chose Medway Park as its venue. It all means that for this week, archers from across 27 countries will be spending their time here in Kent, including this husband and wife duo from Estonia, who have become quite the fan of the county.
Our family name is Kent. And
when they first announced that the indoor will be in Kent, then we were like, yes, Kent will go to Kent.
Last year was the outdoors, was in Estonia.
Yeah.
So at our home, now we are on the second home.
Now with arrows flying across the halls at Medway Park, this World Championship is once again well underway. Bartholomew Hall for KMTV.
Now, Kent's men's A-team and junior side have stormed the English Pool Association National Inter-County Championship with a win in both their respective finals. It comes 12 months after both sides reached the semi-finals, this year, however, managing to make it one step further. Well, I spoke to team manager William Anderson earlier today. So, William, thank you very much for joining me today. National champions, the best squad in England. I mean, you must be proud. What was the reaction from the squad?
The reaction from the squad, the reaction from the squad was that a lot of the guys hadn't won a national title before, so they were completely over the moon that they had at last achieved what is probably one of the biggest titles in England, really.
And I mean, you must be proud yourself as their coach. I mean, what was your feelings afterwards? You must have been proud.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm a bit older than the rest of the boys. Some of the boys are like, there's a couple of under 21, under 23s. Some of them are late 20s, early 30s, but yeah, it's been a long time coming. 1986 was the first time it was run, this tournament, and here we've won it in 2023. So they've all done well to get to this point, and they're delighted to be the best team in England.
Absolutely, and I mean, 12 months since you were in the semi-finals. What's that year been like? What's the main learning curve for the team?
Well, going into the final, I reminded them of how it felt last year when we lost, and to take those feelings and make it much more positive and come out the winning side this time. And that's what they did. There was tears last year when they had got so close, but there was happy tears this time when they actually delivered in front of everybody.
Brilliant. And I mean, now you're champions. How do you go into your next games? Is there a certain weight on the shoulders? What's the mindset?
Well, yeah, that was interesting. So we played Hampshire yesterday, and Hampshire run us close all day, but eventually in the last set we won 5 out of the first 6 games in the last set, and we won 24-20. So it was Hampshire were up for it. They wanted to beat the national champions, and fair play to them, but we came through in the end. Brilliant.
William, thank you very much for joining us today. Well, congratulations to both teams. Now, just before we go, there's just enough time to leave you with our highlights of the week.
Starting with the Invicta Dynamos, Tom Davies scored this clean opener with an assist from Suraj Husker against the Solent Devils at Gillingham Ice Bowl. Here's Barry Goodwin's snap of lid half-marathon winner Chris Edwards from the Dover Roadrunners. Doing the county proud there, Chris. Now take a look at the form of this young sprinter. 12-year-old Reuben Smith recently won his 3rd consecutive podium finish at the British Schools Modern Biathlon Championships. And now, even though the Stones didn't win against Maidenhead this weekend, this free kick from Regan Booty was a sure sign they weren't going down without a fight. What a goal!
Now, that's all the time we have for this week's Invicta Sport. Don't forget, if you want to appear in next week's Highlights of the Week, make sure to send in your clips to our social media. Tag us at KMTV Kent. Well, that's all from me. See you next time.